First of all, happy 4th of July, everybody. I could have had a box of this, but a good friend of mine, who goes by Socialist Assassin, beat me to a box. I had it in my cart, and it took me a minute to find my card because my card expired, and I had to get a new card and put the new information in and do all this kind of stores. I did all that, and the box was gone. So I was only able to get a 5-pack. Then, a few days later, I saw somebody had a box. I asked him what site to get these boxes from. He gave me the site that he got his box from. It turns out he bought it before me. The rich gets richer. Point is, today we are reviewing the EPC Pledge of Allegiance Salomon. This is their 2024 edition. I don't know, it never really hit my brain. For the regular Toro, there's 1776 boxes. That was the year this country was founded. And with this one, there's only 248 boxes. And it took me a while for me to understand why 248. Didn't hit me. 248 years ago was 1776.
Explosion.
That is the reason why there's only 240 boxes of these Salomons. And more background is that it actually takes a while to craft a cigar in this Vitola, because you have the little nipple part at the end. You have this oddity of the shape. With the skilled crafters they have at their factories, they're only able to pump out 50 to 60 of these cigars a day. 50 to 60 a day to get craft out. What kind of shows you that Salomons are a little bit more tedious in the sense to make. So I can understand why they only went with 248 boxes. Now it's kind of impossible to find compared to the Toro that has 1776 boxes. But let's get a little bit more information about the cigar. Let's get more into the cigar. This is a fully American cigar. What do I mean by that? The wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf, aged to become a Maduro. Then you have the binder, which is basically underneath this wrapper, which is being an Ecuadorian Connecticut. Lastly, you have the filler. Whatever you can see from that nipple right there is Nicaraguan, Dominican, and US. I'm guessing possibly Pennsylvania or maybe some from Florida. I went to multiple sites to figure out which part of the US is the filler from, and everything just says US. You have a Connecticut seed grown in Honduras for the binder. Then you have the Connecticut broadleaf as a wrapper. Then US, Dominican, and Nicaraguan for the filler. It's mostly American, not all American, which is fine because there's nobody here that's fully American. We're all from different parts of the world. There's no such thing as a full-blooded American. We all come from somewhere. Only full-blooded Americans are natives. So unless you're 100% native, you're not full-blooded American. For the last piece of the pie of the information, that this is a 6 3/4 by 64. That is all there is about the cigar. Other than the fact that it's a medium to full, that's all there is. That's all she wrote. Let's get into it. This is the EP Carrillo Pledge of Allegiance 2024 Salomon.
Everything that we love is temporary. Please remember me when I'm dead and I'm buried. My mind just wants to be free. Wants to be free.
Time for the snip. No more kids. Oh, no more kids. I tend to go for 3 snips for torpedoes, Salomons, Figados. And those what gives it like the most pulls. I'm talking snips from a cutter with a back into it. Guillotine, obviously you should know how to measure a guillotine by now. But for those who are not confident, you know, you use a cut over the back. I typically use a cut over the back for videos because anything can happen. A mistake can happen. These cigars are not cheap. You know, they're also rare. If I mess up, I'm gonna cry. Ooh, from that cold draw, I get a lot of cocoa and chocolate. A little bit of leather. Almost like rich earth. The wrapper, light, chalky chocolate, like powdered chocolate on the wrapper. I don't even want to burn this. The fact that it's so hard to get. Feels. I mean, I feel more patriotic burning the cigar, especially for today's date. I know it kind of sucks that today, Thursday, 4th of July feels better on a weekend. As I've been perusing around my city and other cities, I've been seeing a lot of people buying grills, setting things up, remodeling their deck, all that kind of sorts. What's your plan for today? It's early. So if you're watching this the moment it's uploaded, it's early. It's noon. Meaning you have a couple hours to prepare those steaks and the ribs and the burgers and the hot dogs and the chicken and the pork chops. You got a couple hours. What's your plan for today? Are you hosting or are you going to some place that is hosting? Let me know. The most important question is, what are you smoking today? Ooh, a nice spice to the cigar. Same notes I was talking about before. A little leather cocoa. It's not really chocolate yet. It's more like the cacao seed. Cacao with a dabble of leather and spice. Yeah, the cigar has a nice kick to it. The spice is not overwhelming. It's just a pleasant kick. This is nice. Ooh. I'm actually getting a little bit of espresso too. It just came out of nowhere. Well, I'm getting past the little nipple part, so maybe since I'm getting in the very meat of the cigar, you can see the shape of it, where it's more wider in the bottom. Technically speaking, this is the 64. Most likely on the top part, this is like maybe a 56. Very smooth on the retro. It has this little spicy kick to it that lingers in your palate and the back of your throat. But it's very pleasant. It's not how you get with typically with like Espinosas, where it's like a punch. This is more like a little pinch, where it gives you a little flavor kick, especially for today. Come on. 4th of July, it's known for barbecues, and you can't just put salt and pepper on the steak. You gotta put a little bit of Cajun spices. You gotta put, you know, for us, you know, Hispanics, a little sazon, adobo. You gotta put a little kick to it. And that's what the cigar has. You know, this is a mostly American cigar. It has that little kick to it, which is good. It has a little flavor and seasoning. It's not bland, which is perfect. Let's take a look at that ash. I'm putting this super focus up because you can see there's a small little tunnel right there in the middle. Look at the detail of that ash. Partly gray, partly white. Has a slight canoe. It is unbelievably gorgeous. This is really tasty. You have this cocoa and espresso that's just like swirling with each other. That spice comes at the very tail end. You have the leather and earth, very so subtle. kind of background, kind of foreground. Like you see them a lot in TV shows, but they're not that big enough to be part of the title sequence. You should know what I'm talking about. A lot of these sitcoms will have recurring characters, but they have their main theme that has the mainline characters. For this instance, for this cigar, the mainline character is chocolate and espresso, and that's spice. Those are the main three I see in the forefront. Then you have the characters. That's essentially always there, but not enough respect to be part of the title sequence, but more of after the title sequence is done, you see right in the middle, guest starring, and then their name pops up right in the middle as it continues after the title sequence. That's what the leather and earth is to the cigar at the moment. Who knows, maybe a couple characters die off and those two become the next main. The espresso notes so nice. I get an espresso and put a little bit of chocolate powder in it. Not a lot of it. Just maybe a teaspoon of just chocolate powder. Just to give it a little sugary flavoring. There's a slight sweetness to it too as well. I'm not too sure if this is like a white spice or I'm not sure if this is like a white pepper or black pepper, maybe baking spice, because it's not like spicy in the nose as it makes me want to sneeze and such. I feel like a little bit of some type of spice in there. So it might be baking spice. Also, where's my manners? I forgot to tell you guys, this is a $35 cigar. MSRP is part of the information on the cigar. I completely forgot to give you guys that information. There's 248 boxes of these, with each box containing 10 of these cigars. Each of these cigars are $35, meaning a box will cost you about 350 bucks, which I think seems kind of fair for the fact that it's only 50, 60 crafted a day with Salomon's, and it being Pledge of Allegiance, which was my favorite cigar last year. Literally the first cigar you see when I do my intro. That's how much I love the Pledge of Allegiance. And this is quite doing justice. The flavors are just bursting and oozing. But I'll see you guys in a second, third. All right, so I'm halfway into the cigar. And this chocolate just came out with a little bit of earthiness. Those two became the forefront. That cocoa, gone. Now it's just pure chocolate, espresso, and earth. And then the background's a little bit of leather. Ice, gone. Oh my god, this is so delicious. This is a great cigar. Oof. This is definitely going to be in the contender for a spot. This was delicious. You also have this mushroom-like earthiness to it. It's almost a little meaty. A little bit meaty. Oh, this is so good. The spice has come back. It's like a little like Thought Bay. That's what I want to talk about. He came out of nowhere and just did this. A little bit of spice in there. We have this meaty earthiness with this chocolate, with this little bit of espresso, light leather. This is fucking good. And with that cocoa powder, you put a little bit of heavy cream. You make it that very thick, nice chocolate sauce. That's what this is. This is something 100% you enjoy outside, right next to the grill, or as you're grilling, have this cigar. This would complement it so fucking well. Jesus. Bro, I waited a year for this. It was worth the wait. Fucking Tony taking my damn box. Little bitch. I love you. The draw is still smooth. Retro is smooth. Everything about the cigar so far has been just beyond superb. Very distant Spaniard European is coming out of me with my fucking vocabulary today. Jesus. This is good. I'm not gonna waste your time. That's all I've been getting so far from that second third. I'm gonna come back to you guys on the last third. But this has been treating me very well. As you can see, still slight canoe. Nothing much. We still have that mostly gray, slightly white ash. The construction is still phenomenal. You guys, the last third. Even the last third has been very pleasant. That rich earth, a little bit of leather, that chocolate espresso. It's just been a phenomenal cigar. So when the transition to the second third, it persists into the last third and kind of like amplified towards the end. This is good. This is very, very good. It is time to cast the ratings. Let's start with the initial. The band. Look how beautiful the band work is on the cigar. Pretty sure that's Lizette, EP's daughter. I believe that's her mother. The band is gorgeous. That's one thing I can never knock with EP Carrillo cigars. The band work has always been beautiful with them. When it comes to the appearance of the cigar, I'm gonna have to give it a solid 9. Because how the cigar looked in the Salomon form, as the band work, the box of it, I don't possess it because someone stole it from under me. But I seen the box. It's gorgeous. They did a lot of effort and work into their craftsmanship for both band, box, and the cigar itself. I'm gonna give them a solid 9 for everything when it comes to appearance. When it comes to construction, cigar held up, light tunnels here and there. We have a little bit of canoeing. It never went off on me. Burn has been consistent. The draw has been very, very smooth. Light resistance, which I prefer. I'm gonna give the construction, especially with this tunnel, I'll give it a 7.5. For taste notes, I'm gonna have to give it, I'll give it an 8.5 for taste notes, because the espresso was so rich and bold. That chocolate, going from that chalky cocoa powder in the very beginning, just boom, right in your palate of that very rich, creamy chocolate. That meaty, earthy, and a little bit of leather punching in the second half, and so on. This has been an amazing cigar. I always look forward for these projects. I'm kind of intrigued for what they're gonna do next year. Maybe a perfecto. It'd be kind of intriguing to get a perfecto or a double perfecto for the Pledge of Allegiance. They could do a Salomon. They could do a perfecto. With the Salomon, everything came out perfectly fine. Taste notes, no bland spots, no blank spots. Inconsistent. The complexity of the flavor notes. It's just been an ideal cigar the whole way through. This is something I could ideally see myself behind the grill, making my steaks and ribs and hot dogs and hamburgers and all that kind of sorts. This will be my great best friend in that time. So if you guys are watching this before your 4th of July party, please, if you have this, smoke it as you do your cooking, because you would definitely not regret it. That note, this cigar is a certified ash, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This has been the EP Carrillo Pledge of Allegiance 2024 Salomon. Until next time, guys, as always, I love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.